And hello, everybody. Welcome to Rules to Astonish. We're back with yes, hello. Thank you. Hello. We're back with Wonderland: The Ties that Bind. So, without further ado, let's get back into it. Who wants to give a recap of what happened last time?
Honk, honk, beep, beep, honk, 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 honk.
I think the child does.
Apparently, cars were in there. Honk, honk, and beep, beep. Yeah, anyway, who wants to give a recap?
We were trapped in a van.
You were trapped in a van for quite a while.
Okay, but now we have left the van. And now we're like, okay, the government supposedly wants to help us take down the Red Queen, but they have no idea how to go about doing that. Now, we have no idea how to go about doing that. So, yeah.
We're on the payroll now.
You guys are on the payroll.
Now we get cash monies, which should help with your lack of cash monies.
And
now we supposedly get cool things that I'm not sure how much they'll help, but you know, it's the thought that counts.
I
don't know what to do with the cash monies.
You see, the problem is the government's going to realize that they can't just buy their way out of this problem, but the problem is they don't really know how to handle it. So unless they find a way to give us like a predator missile, I don't see...
predator missile on small town
Red Queen.
on small town Ohio.
No, I'm talking about the Red Queen, not Ohio. We can't predator missile Ohio.
What if the Red Queen also has predator missile?
Well, now she probably does since I brought that up. So.
You know, I've actually read it.
Encounter her, it's usually indoors, so therefore we're probably relatively safe. Maybe. I hope.
Fun fact: I've actually read in the book how like powerful beings like the Red Queen are, and it's like, do you want to beat the Red Queen? Set off.
Well, no, we just want to. The problem is we want to stop the kidnappings. The downside is, I think the Red Queen would object to us trying to stop the kidnappings, and I don't really know how to beat her. She's like an engine boss.
Basically, what they said in the book is that if you want to stop one of the Red Queen type beings, you would have to like set off a nuke in their face, and that would do just about as much as making them go away for a little while and forgetting that you exist. That's about the...
Okay, so we need one of those.
I don't think they'll let us borrow one of those.
How many points does it take to unlock nuke manufacturing?
Nuke manufacturing! You have to have the prerequisite of Albert Einstein. And Nazi scientists.
How many CP is depleted uranium?
How many CP is one Nazi scientist? and depleted uranium.
Wait, why do you have those? You know what? Don't tell me.
Well, that's what you need to build a nuke.
Yeah, I'd like to choose the German-Jewish nuclear physicist skill.
Alright, you know what? I played enough Twilight Struggle to know how this goes. I played Nazi scientist on the stack. I gained 1 space race point.
And unfortunately, Inez cannot take the German-Jewish physicist skill because she decided to spec into the prereq of Hispanic.
Bullshit.
That would do it.
And is therefore not Jewish nor German.
Bullshit.
Alright, well, you know what? Firepower was never going to work against the Red Queen, so...
So are you guys sort of just like calling for a group meeting to discuss the next move?
I mean, we have
like
to discuss what the heck just... I mean, mostly it's just us going over what the heck just happened.
Yeah, going over what the heck just happened is probably a good idea. As well as what do we do now? Like, what do we know what it's the question of what do we know and what can we do with that information. So,
Are we gonna have a meeting at Rich House? Because that's the best house.
you can have a meeting at Rich House and Rise is busy getting together pizza bagels.
Alright, pizza bagels.
He's getting
Not
together
pizzas for breakfast.
pizza bagels for
Okay,
y'all.
how many 2000s points do we get from consuming pizza bagels?
You get at least 50 because that is the
Alright.
very 2000s.
Oh yeah.
I would like to spend these points for knowledge on E-Bombs World cartoons.
E-bomb what?
Isn't that 2000s?
I don't know what E-bomb's world is.
Okay, never mind. I would like to spend them for knowledge on,
What was that stuff? Surge. Spend them to acquire Surge.
Okay, you know what? If we ever need caffeine energy,
Caffeine.
we'll keep that in the maiden pile.
Okay, so yeah. Hey, both of you stop. It's like they're fighting.
I think the 3-year-old has the advantage.
Yeah. You'd be surprised.
What, that the 3-year-old drops fights?
Alright, you guys discuss. You guys talk amongst yourselves.
Because I thought your daughter was like 1. So if Caleb's going 0-2 against her, I'm telling you, man.
Oh, I was AFK. I don't know if I missed anything.
No, we're just trying to figure out. Steven's trying to get us to push the plot forward, and we basically had one of the hard to say we don't know what the plot is.
So I can jump in briefly.
Oh. I mean, we could just go. We could go spelunking in the Wonderland.
Wonderland. Would that be called Wonderlunking?
I mean,
Or
if we go
s-
run around there long
or,
enough,
s-
something will happen.
Or
And
would it be
maybe we could stretch that into something beneficial.
Would it be Wonderlunking or Spilland?
I think Wonder.
I really don't know.
Sorry, that yawn came out of nowhere. Wonderlunking. I put my vote for
I like
Wonderlunking.
I like Wonderlunking. It's pretty good.
Did you put both of them in there?
Yeah.
I'm gonna do bedtime and then I'll jump in.
Sounds good.
Okay?
All right. So anyway, so you guys can at least maybe it would be a good idea to just like take stock of what all has been going on up to this point and what information's on the table.
Okay, so we know that young people be disappearing. We know that the Red Queen is bad and evil bad.
Oh, are we? Is Santana still with us, or is she like staying as far away from us as possible?
You know what? Santana is actually still hanging out with you guys because she's like, it's the idea of like, she's like, she would stay away. Like, if she were like sane, like, you know, sane at all, the smart thing would be to stay away.
Nah, she can't do that. She's in too deep.
But she's in too deep now, and she's just like,
Yeah,
nah, that was
Don't forget, you're here forever.
it's the idea of she's all like, that was fucked up, and I don't want, and I don't think we can let that happen to anybody else because that's really bad. And you guys have been saying that it's happening to more than just one person.
Yeah, no, she could be a hero.
Don't necessarily want to be a hero so much as just
Yeah, well,
like...
neither do we, but we're kind of stuck in this.
the burden of
Unfortunately,
the burden of knowledge.
we are what they would politely refer to as fucked. Now, how do we get unfucked? I'm not quite sure.
This is the question. How do we get unfucked? So yeah, stock of what's happened. Kids are disappearing. Red Queen is at least behind Jackson and Cecilia's disappearance.
Yep.
Who was the first person who disappeared?
I think it was Cecilia who disappeared first.
I thought it was some random dude.
Oh yeah, some random dude turned up dead.
Okay,
Oh,
so Cecilia is the
he's
first
dead.
person that we successfully saved.
So there's,
We are
did
heroes.
we ever investigate the guy who died?
I think maybe briefly, and then you forgot about it because Cecilia disappeared.
Maybe we should follow up on that.
Okay, I think Rise is coming back.
I'm not coming back yet.
Oh, she's not coming back yet.
It's in your addresses. Here's my credit card. Go have fun.
No, we were trying to talk about what's been going on. And
So
where
you
to
see,
go
we're
from here.
talking about how we can't just buy our way out of this problem, because that's what the
Sorry.
government wants to do, but the government can't buy their way out of the Red Queen problem. Unless he plans to, like, invade Wonderland, which I'm sure is on the table, but we know that's not going to work.
Slaya said, let's just go buy quinceanera dresses.
I mean, if that's how y'all want to decompress, then sure. I get it. Crazy things are happening. If you need to decompress, go for it.
It's detox.
Hey man, it's the 2000s in this game. Malls still exist.
They do.
So
Going
I'm
to the
saying
mall is
that's an
actually
option on the table.
Going to the mall is actually a viable pastime. During this time
Exactly.
period. Let's go to the mall today.
Thank you, Robin.
Yeah, what was that Robin Sparkle song?
Yeah. Also, good questions to be asking yourselves is, weird shit is happening. This is a small town in the middle of bumfuck nowhere, Ohio. Why here? Why high
Because the
school
Red
kids?
Queen is preying on us because we are vulnerable. Or there's like a secret, like, I don't know, villain buried beneath the surface.
Maybe we should
We should investigate that, actually, if we knew where to start.
summon Salem.
Summon Salem. How do you summon Salem? Please elaborate.
Let's start talking shit about Salem until he
I
shows up
usually
and
do
has a
that, though. I
reputation.
usually just say, here, kitty, kitty, until he's pissed off.
You just piss him off by treating him like a cat.
I mean, yeah, that's the plan. Let's just
Do you
piss
just-
him off
do you
until
get
he
out- do you-
shows up. Okay, so the problem with that is if we do that, then he might not want to talk to us.
Do you get out the bag of fucking where are they? Those cat treats of the temptation things.
Yeah, that's like a cat, like crystal meth. You know the ones I'm talking about.
I used to have cats, and like they went fucking nuts for those cat treats.
Okay, so we discovered that we give cats the cat treats, and to them it's basically cocaine. Okay, what if we got Salem hooked on those things and promised to keep giving it up if it gave us answers?
Get him hooked on catnip.
I mean, it would be a terrible idea, but you know, we got to get the terrible ideas out before we could get the good ideas, or the one that sounds the least terrible,
This is how brainstorming works.
or at least we get down to crazy enough to work.
Just crazy enough to work.
Yep.
Okay. So, you guys are getting out the cat treats and going shika 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 shika. Shika 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 shika.
I mean, unless we have a better way of attracting him, but I don't know.
Well, it's time for ideas. Come on, guys.
Well, maybe if
Hello.
you showed, maybe if a cat showed up and told us, "Hey, your town is creepy, and this is why it's getting fucked," because that would be very good to know. But the problem is, we don't know, and he didn't exactly leave us a callback number because he's a jerk.
Okay.
So
So,
if he wants to leave one, we'll take that.
leave a callback number. Okay, so
Is Urise arrived?
I'm trying to get her. Saya? I don't know. I think she's still putting the kids down.
Yes, I'm here. Shut
Oh,
up.
there she is. So we were talking about what has happened, what information is all on the table, and what the next step should be, and what things to consider.
So we determined that shit is slightly fucked, but apparently if we could solve the mystery of why our town is the place that is bad, it might make us feel better, at least. Steven hinted that it will lead to better hints. So I am all for pursuing this policy. Until I hear of a better idea.
We talk to Salem. We find out about someone who's like on the Red Queen's power level who doesn't like the Red Queen. We talk to them, and then we find out all the gossips from them, and maybe convince them to help us.
I mean, let's consider what we already know. We know there's that stupid army, that weird Nazi sex cult army that's trying to amass people. We know the Red Queen is doing something.
So is the
And-
Nazi sex army connected to the Red Queen?
I don't know I don't think we know.
Something to pursue.
I'm not personally too keen on going back to the Nazi sex army. Didn't have the best time
Was that a good
on the last occasion.
No, we're just trying to put down all we know. Okay, let's get out a whiteboard and some markers.
Okay.
Okay,
Would you
So
would you
we-
like me to write this on the Roll20 for everybody to see?
Actually, that'd probably be best because we might want to save this list later.
So if everybody, you know, what, let me get the Roll20 link again for everybody.
I mean, it's pinned.
Oh, is it? Well, if everybody wants to jump into that, who can, we can write.
I say we start with the nanny. No reason. I just like nannies.
And that's
my
probably just
nanny's innocent in all this. She just
Yeah, this is
came
a-
to check up on me.
I'm putting it down.
She might know things.
Nanny.
No. We need to start with the sex cult because we know they have a motivation.
Wait, the
So
sex
let's-
cult?
The Nazi sex
really
cult.
don't want to go
Sex
back
army?
down.
I know you don't. So let's just get it out of the way. We're just gonna put it on the board and then we're gonna forget about it. Okay?
If you guys were paying attention, you guys when you guys mentioned the weird sex army, one of the Project Puritan agents actually did say something about that.
Okay. Whatever they called it, that's what we say. We're gonna put it up there.
Army.
There's them. They're trying to amass an army. They're trying to amass an army of us because they want to conquer the world, right?
Army of No. Is what they're called.
I'm the one who heard their evil plan, so what was it?
GM, what does Inez relay to us?
Oh, that they want to invade reality. They want to invade, as they called it, the upper world.
Did she say anything about the means?
Causing disruption.
Okay,
That's
so we
it.
know. That's it. Hello?
Oh yeah. It was basically invading the upper world through disrupting, essentially disrupting the things that they hate, which is which is happiness and music and creativity.
Okay, so we know the army wants to do that. We also know that Senor Sombrero has shit up his sleeve that he recruited us to do.
This is writing with a mouse is awful. Let me just say.
You know, I actually kind of completely forgot about him, and I have no idea what he wants us to do.
Yeah, but I mean, he recruited us for some reason, so we should put him down, you know, him and Alice. Alice is giving us freaky shit.
And vastly increasing your skills.
And then...
So, recruited and helping. Senor Sombrero. Recruited.
And then the Red Queen has been chopping people's heads off.
Yep.
Also, do we know exactly what these beads are?
The beads are the XP.
The beads, Alice calls them potential. And
They're the XP.
And
all you know.
and she says that she injects them. It basically turns them into a form that she can inject to you to give you potential.
Okay, so that's kind of just investigating Alice then. Gotcha.
Red Queen, violent, murder. Okay.
I kind of think we should still find out what happened to the first person who disappeared, because every time someone's disappeared, there's been like some weird blob chefs or shit like that that's responsible. So maybe it's still there.
Oh yeah, we need to put the... What were the chefs? Did they have a motivation? Like, someone was trying to poison the cheerleaders and shit.
That was the weird girl. The loner girl that you guys turned on to MMOs.
Yeah, but we all know someone set her up.
Yeah, someone had to teach her magecraft.
I still Inez still texts her every once in a while to make sure she's alive. So
what's her name?
She can send out a message.
What do we call her?
I said it with an M or something.
Morgan?
Madison?
Madison, I think.
Yeah, I think it's Madison.
That sounds right.
Maddie. Who taught Curse. There we go. And Inez brought up first murder. The first guy, the first kid turned up dead before all this started. Or, well, I think it was actually right after you had your first encounter with Senor Sombrero. Like, the day after.
And where did the body show up?
You know, fuck it. I'm just gonna go full Persona 4 because that's what this was originally supposed to be based off of. It was on a telephone pole.
There's a guy who didn't play Persona 4. Okay.
At the top of a telephone pole.
Maybe we can go check it out.
So Santana brings up, she's like, okay, what about the carnival?
I kind of thought we took care of that, right?
Well, yeah, but why did it show up here of all places in Podunk nowhere?
Oh yeah, we also need to add Dante.
Probably the
to
same
this
reason
list.
all the other ones.
We also need to add Dante to this list. Why did
Yeah,
he show
where's-
up in Podunk nowhere?
What does
Santana?
Dante
Dun,
know
dun,
about this?
dun.
She gets kind of quiet and uncomfortable at that.
Well, I think you kind of need to tell us at this point.
She like squirms a bit and she's like, he hasn't really told me. He just said that he's done some stuff that has made some dangerous people come after him, and he's basically laying low. That's all he tells me.
Maybe we can ask him ourselves.
Guess we. Well, I mean, I did ask him, but he didn't tell me anything.
We could ask
Looking
him
at me is
again.
because I don't know anything.
Steven?
What?
What are you doing?
Oh, I'm waiting for you guys. I've been writing stuff down.
Okay, anything else we need to add to this list?
Not that
Oh
I
yeah,
know
my
of.
dad knows about this shit.
Okay.
I asked
That's
his
incentive.
soul.
What?
I
Yeah, he
mean, we
knows
kind of
about
need
this.
all the help we can get.
That's
Also, now that
weird.
the government knows what's going on, he's probably going to end up learning anyway, so best that he knows about this now.
No, I mean, I don't think that's a good thing.
We should
It is
maybe.
a thing that we are
This
going to
is my
have to
dad
deal with.
talking about the most most corrupt mayor this little town has ever seen.
That is just
And
some
that's-
stuff
So,
from.
only
If we had, like,
slightly more
serial
corrupt
killer
than the
or husband
previous
killer guy.
mayor?
So Santana,
Yeah.
Santana speaks up again. She's like, okay, so here's the thing. Why is it all happening here? Like weird Madison was doing weird curses. Kids are disappearing. We've seen multiple of these like weird people from Wonderland, and all of it is centered on this town.
Now wait a minute, Santana. How did you even know about the chessboard? How did you know it was a thing?
Dante. She looks down to sort of monitors. Well, Dante talks about it sometimes.
Okay.
Well, so actually, Rise can elaborate on that.
Oh, Dante knows magic.
What?
Yeah, remember I went to talk to him? Yeah, he knows magic. He knows what's up. That's why I put him on the list.
I thought you were making out. I didn't know you were doing wizardry.
Ew, he's like 30. Ew. That's like,
Also,
I
kids
thought it
have
was
to realize
weird.
we need all the wizardry we can get.
ew, Lewis. Are
Louis, you have
okay
issues.
snogging the nanny? Is that what you dream about? Snogging? Oh,
I mean, he
gross.
probably does.
He probably does.
Yes. But
Told you.
now I'm in a committed relationship, and I have to forsake that.
Anyway, Reese, maybe we shouldn't be meeting here anymore if your dad knows about this.
Good point. I don't think the room's bugged. I checked last week.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna get tired of checking every single time.
Okay, well, where else can we meet?
Well, I guess we could do my house. You know, my grandparents never really come out of their room. But I'm open to suggestions.
Lewis? Your basement's pretty big.
And has anime.
There's more to life than anime.
Yeah, I'll invite the anime guys over. We'll watch a movie. You guys
Yeah,
wanna
we
turn
are
one on?
kind of an unofficial anime club watching thing, too.
I mean, given what's going on with our stuff, that's fair.
Alright, then we'll start meeting at Lewis's house. I mean, he doesn't have the big TV like my place does, but we'll start meeting at Lewis's house. His mom does make us food.
Also, when we get used to the small TV, the big TV will seem like amazing in comparison.
Honestly, it's probably better than my mom finding out that a bunch of people are coming over to my house at random times.
I'm gonna try to hook Reese up with one of my Revenge of the Nerd friends. That way she doesn't keep messing around with 30s. I'm thinking maybe the cool guy who does beatboxes. Thoughts?
It can't beatbox.
So sometimes, like, maybe the first step needs to be understanding all this. Like, we don't really even know what the Army of No is. We don't really even know what those chefs were. We don't even know what the Red Queen is.
I mean,
What
I
are
do
you, a
agree
GM
that.
insert?
I mean, I do agree with this thing. If only we knew where such information could be acquired. But
Which is why we
alas,
should talk to that
I
cat.
lack such
I
knowledge.
think Dante might know.
Okay, well, he's coming over, so there you go.
Well, let's go over and threaten to beat the crap out of him if he doesn't tell us.
Yeah,
I was gonna say
yeah,
ask nicely, and if that doesn't work, then threaten to beat the crap out
what?
of
A
him.
15-year-old, 14-year-old? Is
Hey,
gonna
We have
It's
The
gonna
old
beat
man
the
on the
crap-
end of this fist.
is gonna beat the crap out of a 30-year-old man.
Just watch.
Santana, you're only here because of us. Maybe like a little cooler.
Wait, what?
You're only here because we saved you, so maybe be like super cool to us, okay?
No, that was me saying it as a GM, not as one.
Alright, well, I'm threatening you through her. Alright, let's go talk to your, boyfriend, acquaintance person?
No. Not
Okay.
Guardian? Yeah, we'll go with that. Guardian.
Alright. Magic guardian man who lives in a trailer. Let's go, guys.
But we have a house.
Did it?
Alright. So you guys take bikes, bus. what is your preferred method of transportation?
Bikes. There's no bus out here in Ohio.
That's true.
Yeah, bikes. Bikes and skateboard.
Skateboard.
Pretty sure we established, at least Inez and Cecilia have skateboard.
Inez and Cecilia go skitching.
I have a razor scoop.
The most efficient methods of travel,
Ripped jeans means you have to skateboard. It's just a law.
especially in the early 2000s, early to
Yep.
mid 2000s. All right, so you guys make your way over to Dante and Santana's place. Santana just goes up and gets out like a latchkey, opens the door. Dante is lounging on the couch amidst a pile of pizza boxes,
All right.
some of which are half full.
Wow.
I thought you were gonna say naked in boxers or something.
No. He at least has some dignity. Also, he has a teenage girl around the house. He's not gonna do that. He's just like, oh, hey, Santana, and friends.
I'm told you are a wizard.
He's like, look, kid, this may surprise you, but I have had sex. Even now, you may be a
I'm
wizard.
trying not to think about that.
Now, looking at you, you may be a wizard one day, but that's not me.
That notwithstanding, I'm waiting for marriage. But that notwithstanding, I know you can do magic.
Also, Harry Potter joke here. It's 2006 after all.
Actually, that is topical.
That is very topical. Insert Harry Potter joke here.
I'm not allowed to read that.
Alright, so he just sort of like gives a sidelong glance at Santana and a sidelong glance at Rise. And he's like, is that so? Said I can use magic. He like sits up a bit and then he pulls out a deck of cards and he's like, yeah, let's do some magic. He shuffles a little bit.
Okay.
Pick a card.
I pick a card. I get the 3 of clubs.
He's like, alright, think about it real hard and put it back in the deck.
Okay.
He shuffles the deck a bit and then he, from the middle of the deck, pulls out a card and he's like, is this your card? And it's the 10 of hearts.
If I say yes, it'll make you feel better.
He looks at the card. That's not it.
You said 5 of hearts, right?
10 of hearts.
That was not it. No.
He's like, puts it back in the deck. Well, I tried. And throws it over his shoulder.
Hey, A for effort.
Because I'm not that much of a magician after all. Oh well.
I would like to mention that Cecilia is definitely eating some of the pizza. And as she's doing so...
It's a bit
but
yeah, go on, sorry.
haven't you been to, like, the chessboard and stuff?
Chess is not... I'm more of a checkers man.
Can we just cut the shit? Do you know why Wonderland is invading here or not? Otherwise, we're gonna go find someone else.
He just sort of looks at Rise. Squints a little bit.
What? What did I do?
He's like, fine, shut the door. Seriously, you guys, you're such animals. Why do you never shut the door when we come in? Sometimes just goes and shuts the door. It's like, alright. How much do you guys know?
Yes.
No, how much do you guys know?
I show him a picture of the whiteboard that I took. I took a picture of it on my phone.
So he's like,
Recon, recon.
so he looks it over. He's like, I'm on here. I'm flattered. Senor Sombrero? What?
Yeah, the guy with the hat in the limousine. And Alice.
he's like, they're getting involved, huh? Oh, that's spicy. So he's like, okay, let's put it this way. It looks like you guys have a lot of exposure and no knowledge of what you've gotten into.
No, we're hoping to get knowledge.
So let's start at the beginning. He's like, you know what? Let me get something to illustrate. And he gets out, goes, gets a pad of paper, and he rips off one and holds it up. And he's like, think of this as reality. This is where we are, right up here. We call it chessboard 0.
We know how that works. Get to the interesting part.
He's like, I'm getting there. Here, hold this. And he hands you the piece of paper, Inez.
She rolls her eyes.
And then he rips off 7 more sheets and hands one to each of you, or multiple ones to you. And he's like, all right, hold these up in just a nice stack. He's like, the rest of these, this is Wonderland. This is how it looks. It is a series of what we call chessboards going down, and with each one gets a little. He puts a little rip in the third one, less. He rips up more, tears the 4th one in half. It's just keeps going down, ripping it up more and more. Let's reality. Further down you go, the weirder shit gets. And the more, the way I've been led to believe by people who are smarter than me in these sorts of terms, researchers of this sort of thing, is that our world up here works on the rules of mathematics and physics. Very concrete ideas. But the further down you go, and he points down at the lower ones, the more the world works on the rules of literature and tropes. It's not bound by physics and math and concrete ideas as much as concepts and the way stories work.
I'm gonna politely raise my hand to ask a question.
He's like, yeah, nerdy kid.
Can I live in anime?
He's like,
you would say that.
He's like, that's not what it's like. Think of it more like, any of you read Lovecraft?
I don't want to live there.
Yeah. He's like, yeah, like that. It's not bound by our rules. It's bound by their rules. And if you want, and the world plays, but since they're playing by their rules and we're up here playing by our rules, the twain should not meet. Because as you probably figured out, things get weird down there. Or at least we think that it's weird. They think it's normal. And they think that what we're doing up here is completely preposterous and horrifying. Now, it seems you guys have met the Red Queen. She is, let's put it this way, she's what we call a caretaker. She's from all the way down there, at chessboard 5 and 6. The low places. And she's basically, with the other caretakers, is kind of a god. And not the nice sort. But, at the same time, all of these gods obey the laws of certain literature. They fall into a role that they must fulfill. It just so happens that hers happens to be one of blood and death and murder and mayhem. However, there is an aspect to it that is not that is rational as well. There's you might have figured out. I think Rise told me that you guys, at one point, 2 of you ended up in her domain.
That is correct.
Yep.
What happened to you 2?
So my head got chopped off and was going to be served as an entree at like a feast.
I was just like tortured for
Oh,
a
and I
while.
mentioned I could still like talk and see and like do things with my head during this time.
Yeah, I was just on a table with my chest ripped open. I didn't go to a party.
Yeah,
On a table.
it was not a good time.
No, it was just, it's
Appetite
bad.
killer.
He turns
Yeah,
to he turns to Cecilia. Was there a particular being doing that chopping open to you?
A doctor guy. I actually stole his coat. I don't have it with me, but felt right.
He's like, yeah. That guy wasn't just torturing you. We'll put it that way. He was studying you.
Well, I mean, potato, right?
But that's the thing, is he was studying. This is what the Red Queen does. Her science is a study of human nature through the violence and the gore. He wasn't torturing you. He was studying your heart, and he was mapping it. He was mapping out every emotional tick and event to have a greater understanding of human
Steven,
emotion.
Asa weighed in. Did he murder her? Did she murder him, Inez?
Did who murder Inez?
No,
Oh yeah,
check
you
the chat.
you killed that guy.
All right, that's what Inez says because Asa's not here right now.
Oh, okay. Yeah, he's like, yeah, I could believe that you did, but trust me when I say someone else will just take his place. These sorts of things don't just go away, as it were. But yeah, that's how the Red Queen works. She wants to study how humans tick and operate, but her methods are obviously gruesome and bloody and horrifying. So the fact that she's got an interest in you in your little town is saying something. Let's see here. He scrolls through your thing. Ah, yeah. Senor Sombrero, you call him? I'm guessing he's gone by something like Mr. Hats or something else, and you're just being facetious.
No, that's
No.
me.
What? There's also Salem.
It's like Salem?
The cat.
He's like, he thinks for
The
me,
one
and
who
he's like,
smiles a lot.
he thinks for me, and he's like, oh, fuck. Man, you guys are just pulling out all the heavy hitters, aren't you?
Yeah, but Salem's our friend, so don't worry about him.
Yeah, I wouldn't trust him further than I could throw him.
Problem is, we don't know who to trust.
Don't trust anybody. Don't even trust me.
I can't throw him. He won't let me pick him up. I've tried many times.
Let's put it this way. Salem, Mr. Hats, Senor Sombrero, whatever you want to call him, all caretakers. All gods. And they are all doing something. They've all got some agenda. Salem, as you call him, is probably there just to fuck things up for everybody else. Hats is in direct competition with the Red Queen. See, she kind of fucked him over a long time ago, and I think this is him taking a dig at her. Obviously, it's obviously something big, or else he probably wouldn't get involved.
Well, that puts him on our side, doesn't it?
Well, not necessarily. Well, the thing is as the best you can hope for is that he's against your enemies. Any of these caretakers is not really on our side so much as against someone else, and that's pretty much the best we can hope for right now.
Well, the cat clearly wants us to stop whatever's happening because he's saved our lives multiple times.
He either wants you to stop what's happening, or he's just having fun fucking with people who are messing with you. Either way, it works in your favor.
I'll take it.
Either way, it works in your favor. Just don't rely on him too heavily. He's not exactly the most reliable guy. Let's see. Army of No. Okay. This one's interesting. That they're here too? Jesus. Everybody's getting involved. So the Army of No is a force from Wonderland. There's a army led by that answers to a handful of the caretakers down there, and their whole idea is just to basically terraform our world to be more like their world by eliminating the things that make us human, our expression, our happiness, our imagination. Just disrupt it and just get rid of any sort of free thought. That's their whole way of doing things. So keep an eye out for them. Do your best to muck up whatever they're trying to do. That's good. Don't let them get you don't want that. You don't want them. You don't want them around. Things get bad when they're around. For everybody. And let's see. Chefs. Maddie who taught curse. Someone explain this one to me.
Oh, there was a weird girl in school who decided she wanted to kill the cheerleaders, so she, I guess, got help from Wonderland with these chefs, whatever I described them to him.
He's like, oh, okay. So here's something interesting to know. There are, at each level of Wonderland, there are different beings that come into being. These chefs are actually only really manifest in chessboard 1, right below ours, in the place that sort of that is as close to our reality as you can get while still being Wonderland. These things are known as whirls. Whirls are a sort of creature that comes about because of extreme emotions in people. And the chefs happen to come from people who feel that someone got something that wasn't deserved and loathe them for it. And that loathing causes the person's shadow, as you probably know, and I'm guessing you guys know what shadows are, considering that you've been down there. Do you guys know what shadows are?
Oh yeah, we had to tame ours and reunite with. And yeah, now we look like freaks.
Okay, great, fantastic. So, when someone gets these extreme feelings, in this case, loathing for someone else for getting something that they feel was not deserved, or that they were passed up for something, then it causes their shadow to mutate into a horrible, monstrous creature that eventually splits off from the person and becomes its own entity. That's what a whirl is. These chefs are whirls. And what they do, and whirls generally have just sort of operate on their own. The chef's whole modus operandi is to inflict just as give people their just desserts, as it were. They usually get someone who can descend or somehow find a way to pass their confectionaries up to the real world, and anyone who eats them is cursed with horrible bad luck that can sometimes prove fatal.
Okay, but this still.
Wait, but our family members had shadows the last time we went down, and we shot some of them.
He says,
Oh
okay.
yeah, sorry about that, Dante.
He's like, yeah. So here's the thing: the deeper you go down, if you encounter someone's shadow and mess with it, the deeper down you are, the less it's going to affect the person up top. They like at chessboard 1, it could really muck up their day, like really put them off, or possibly even lead to some sort of injury if you're really doing something to them. But even if you like kill someone's shadow deeper down, it might just result in a bit of depression for the day. Otherwise, so be careful if you're in the shallower end of Wonderland, but unless you're purposefully wanting to muck with someone, otherwise it's probably not going to be fun for that person, but not as worrisome. So, now the real question is, why are all of you getting so much attention from a bunch of eldritch gods? And
Well, that's kind of the thing. We don't know. And we'd like to because it's getting kind of scary. By scary,
Obviously.
I mean horrifying.
Obviously.
Was it just because we got sucked in and made our way back up instead of dying?
Could be. Could be. What was the exact chain of events that led you to you meeting Mr. Hatz and Salem?
We had a weird. We woke up. Oh, we watched the TV, right? We watched the TV at the midnight channel, and then we all got in the limo.
Yeah, that's basically what happened.
He thinks about this for a minute, and he's like, "That doesn't sound like you. It doesn't sound like you guys got sucked down and proved yourselves. It sounds like you guys were chosen beforehand."
That would be stupid because we're just a bunch of random kids, so it wouldn't make any sense.
Well, seems like it's been working out so far. I'm gonna have to do some thinking on this one. Meantime, I also now am curious as to why everything is popping off here of all places. This was supposed to be a quiet place that I could lie low. And here it is, the hotbed of fucking Descent and Wonderland activity.
What about Leyline? I heard they were important.
Ley lines are bullshit. Don't believe everything you hear on TV, kid.
I don't know. We were hoping you could tell us what's going on.
He looks at your whiteboard again, and he's like, "What's the story of this first kid here?"
Yeah, that's what I was saying, but nobody wanted to talk about it. There's some kid who wound up on like a telephone pole or something.
I don't know. We honestly don't remember.
I wasn't there for this out of character, so.
So out of character, basically what it was like right at the day after you guys met Mr. Hatz, a kid turned up dead. A kid who was missing turned up dead at the top of a telephone pole. It was very weird. No one had any explanation for it. And they still don't. In fact, they kind of just sort of swept it under a rug.
Oh shit, I should have asked my dad's shadow about that. I can go ask him later about if you... guys want me to ask my dad about it?
So Dante's
I guess more information can't hurt at this point.
Dante's like, I could toss in another bit of information that you guys can look into, because I'm sorry, but I'm not getting involved in this one outside of maybe giving you guys some information. I'm not going to risk my hide or my discretion by snooping into such a hotbed right now. But if you guys want to know about things, I can tell you that. That's about all I'll get involved with. However, there's been a rumor going around that I've heard while out the supermarket and such. You know how middle-aged housewives who are bored like to gossip.
Do we?
Never mind.
You're right.
Never mind. You'll get it when you're older. Anyway, apparently some kid, maybe about a little older than you guys, maybe like a junior, senior in high school. Apparently, she was doing an internship with the mayor, and at some point, she apparently just went crazy and attacked him, and they locked her up in the mental ward of the local hospital. Seems kind of weird to me, if you ask me.
So wouldn't that be a reason not to talk to your dad? Because he might be involved with all this?
No, I wasn't going to talk to him directly. I'm going to talk to his shadow.
Oh,
We're going to start with the dad and then the lunatic.
Yeah. I'll do this discreetly. Dante, teach me some magic. So I can talk to my dad, you know.
He's like, see, if you can talk to his shadow, that's all well and good. That's pretty much. If you already know that, I can't teach you anything more than that. But what you're gonna need to learn is how to talk to people and coax information out of them. Now, what I can teach you some other cool tricks, such as if you want to, move through somewhere with people just not really noticing you. You're not invisible, but people just kind of just don't notice you're there. That's something I could teach you how to do.
Okay, I'm game. Do you need? When I get more of these, obviously, just metagame, whatever.
Yeah. So he's like, well, I've told you all I can, unless you guys have more questions. Do you guys have more questions?
Can you teach me to be a ladies' man like you?
He's like,
he's
like, I'm sorry, kid. Some things you're just born with, and you, frankly, are not born with it.
Maybe he's born with it. Maybe it's maybe.
That's probably a better way of going about it.
He's like, hey.
Traps haven't been invented yet.
He's like, hey,
They're
this
just
girl-
trannies in this
No,
decade.
they've been around.
Just trannies. That's what Jim Norton said.
Lewis, you have a girlfriend. We're gonna make this work. You got the wounded bird. What was it? She loves you for being her savior and shit. You know. You have to play up on that. That's a trope. You know that anime trope.
Gotta do it.
That's gonna last for about a month.
That's all he needs, right?
It's a high school relationship. That sounds about right.
Eyes on the prize.
Who knows if we'll even get accepted to the same universities? Or if I'll die fighting monsters.
Let's not
Horrible
think.
monsters.
I want to believe that I will not die.
He's like,
Well, now what?
He's like, well, if that's it, if you guys wouldn't mind, I'm gonna try to get a nap here. So, off with you.
Okay, Reese, we'll see you later. Bye.
What the fuck?
I thought you wanted it on the snap.
Ew.
What is wrong with you?
Gross.
Actually,
Dude,
I'll
you
leave
have
it now.
more than 2 problems.
Okay, first of all, Jackson and I may or may not be a thing. I'm not sure yet. Still not sure if he's gay or not.
You're
I'm
saying this
sure
in front of, you're saying this in front of Jackson.
Yes. I've been watching Terrace House, and these people have no filter sometimes.
What if Jackson's
And by these
thinking
people,
about
I
how he
mean
wants
the
to go about
Japanese.
doing this?
No, seriously, I was watching Terrace House, and there's an episode where they're sitting. There's 2 girls who like one guy, and they're sitting at the table, and the one girl is like, "Hey, you other girl, you like him, right?" And it's like, what the fuck is wrong with you? So now Reese will talk like that from here on out.
That's the cattiest thing I can think of. It.
Jackson's ego took a bit of a ding by this, not gonna lie.
Jackson's not even protesting.
Jackson, it's okay if you're gay. It's okay if I'm a beard. We all know where this is going anyway.
That's a
I'm not sure how I
big
feel
oof.
about this anymore.
That's a big oof.
Jackson is now very sad.
Is Jackson going to protest at all?
I mean, Jackson's like, I'm pretty sure I'm not. I mean, we could have a thing going. No, what was I gonna say? The wind got knocked out of his sails.
Oof. Come on, those are amateur numbers. You gotta pump them up.
Well,
I'm
that
sorry.
was
Oh, can you
was
give me a
uncalled
hug?
for.
Yeah, well, I'll give him a hug. He has no boner whatsoever, does he?
How would you know?
The boner has been thoroughly slain.
Are you going to?
Yeah,
Are you
just
going
what
to
you do
search for
depressed.
it?
Wait,
Cut it out.
root around for it, and it will come. Just keep looking.
Root around for it?
You know where to look. You ain't a fucking mystery.
Just sit on his lap and wait. See what happens.
Guys.
High school.
High school. This was what high school was like in my high school, and I was not actually a part of any of it.
Can't say I was either.
It wasn't like this in mine because it was an all-girls high school.
Keith,
sorry.
Where did you go to high school anyway?
It wasn't mine.
Damascus High School up in northern Montgomery County.
Okay, that's why I never saw you.
Yeah, no.
Can I get a yes?
I was at the land of good football.
I was in the land of Rockville.
I'm just trying to do calculus, and then
Football.
there it is. Please stand up.
All right. So, I joke Only slightly.
So he's like, are you guys done? Don is like, are you guys done? Are you gonna leave? Please get out of my house.
So where are we going to go now?
I try to hold her hand as we leave.
Rise does give you a
As
pity
Jackson tries to salvage what little bit of his ego he possibly can.
I want to sneakily take a photo of that to give to Jackson to build his confidence.
Oh god.
Normally I point out that camera phones aren't probably a thing yet, but you know what? Jackson needs this.
They totally are.
Hey, we're doing this for the ego.
No,
The
they are.
ego must
We've all
flow.
got
Some stuff.
sweet ass flip phones, man.
Alright, so you guys head out of the house. What do you guys want to do? There,
maybe,
things on the docket. There is multiple leads you can follow up on, and the quinceanera is in like 2 days.
2 days? Excuse?
Yeah.
So who's involved in the quince?
Steven, it is midnight, by the way.
Oh shit. Yeah, this might be a good place to wrap it for the night.
Okay. But before I go, who is involved with the quince?
Well, I wasn't aware that it was in like 2 days. So
Time
we might
has
have to
time has been flying by.
All right. Well,
It's a
we
Nez's quinceanera.
Okay, so we're probably all involved. Okay. So
we may
gotta
have to retcon some
we gotta
shopping
prepare for this.
and/or
How do we prepare for
invitations.
this?
I mean, we can make it like a week out if that makes you feel better.
I think that's better, yeah.
Someone is clearly concerned that their outfit is not on point. I get
Yeah.
it. I really do.
Point is time has been flying by, and you haven't been neglecting your quinceanera preparations, and you realize, oh shit, it's almost upon me.
Would your abuela let you get away with this much lackadaisical lack of preparation?
I don't know, considering that Ace is actually Jewish.
Okay, I imagine that someone somewhere would be like, "What the fucking fuck are you not doing anything?"
Emily, you're our last hope. Are you Hispanic?
Am I in real life Hispanic?
Yeah.
No.
No.
It's a big event, and it's there's some degree of like practice for shit, like some kind of dancing.
Asa,
as far as
how
I know.
many quinceañeras have you been to?
0.
How do you
But
know?
clearly, I'm somehow more of an authority than everybody else. Cause
Yeah, pretty
I
much.
watched,
It's a debutante party.
Listen,
You're gonna be
guys.
wearing a very frilly dress. Very frilly.
I watched Wizards of Waverly Place when I was.
I remember watching that as a kid too.
That's where like 90% of my quinceañera knowledge.
That's the fact that that's the source of all things is my favorite part of all this. Is that it's from Wizards of Waverly Place.
Look, man, I saw that episode back in the day, and I was like, well, I know all there is to know about quinceañeras. And I didn't
Yes,
really-
we know all there is to know. I don't even remember that one.
So she's definitely already sent out the family invitations, and there's probably been some degree of rehearsal, but I guess she does have to invite other people.
She's got to invite other people. She's got to go dress shopping properly with Rise.
Which means she has to.
And now Cecilia. Now that we've got Cecilia back,
She has to decide if Lewis is invited.
just the most active snub of all time. Don't invite Lewis. Everyone else in the group gets it. Dante gets an invitation. Santana, who we just met, gets an invitation. Not Lewis. Lewis's girlfriend gets an invitation. Not Lewis.
Oh God, is she obligated to invite? No, definitely not. No cheerleaders invited.
No cheer. Well, she's technically Lewis's girlfriend is not a cheerleader right now.
Complete incognito. No cheerleaders. No questions asked. Family will not know that she is technically a cheerleader.
Do.
But I guess to be fair to Lewis, he has to be invited, but she's going to have a discussion with him in advance about what behavior is permitted.
Can I bring my own anime DVDs?
You don't need them.
Only if it's Mad Bull 64.
I believe the guidelines will be something like dress actually nicely and just don't say anything.
Don't speak.
Don't
Also,
speak.
make sure whatever clothes you wear are at least washed before this.
Yeah.
I'm looking at some of you.
Lewis dresses like a nerd. He's impeccably dressed. He's always wearing a button down. He has a pocket protector. He's a fancy boy.
He's
You
got-
might
he's
want
got
to
bow
pocket
tie.
protector at home.
He's got a bow tie.
Rent a suit.
Yeah, come on, we can look styling.
Okay, so I'm sorry this was such a massive lore dump episode.
We kind of needed it.
Yeah, you kind
Now,
of need some
problem is, I'm
context.
going to forget half of this before next session, but I will
Well,
try.
I can give
I
a
really
I can give a cliff notes before next session. I can give a cliff notes as the part of the recap of next session.
You know what? That sounds excellent. Alright, guys,
Um,
prepare yourself, because next session we are going to eat tamales. And I assume that you have that at a quince.
I would assume so.
What about taquitos?
So the problem is we are going to do a quince where none of the players involved have any idea what goes down in one.
We're gonna have to do some research.
We'll just improv.
Oh, tamales
on.
is
Role-playing
tamales is
games.
on there. Okay.
We can make it work.
You got tamales, tacos, plus menudo. I'm sure all of you guys would love menudo in game. It would be delicious. Like all your coaches would just be
I mean, I would
thrilled.
eat it out of game.
I can't have tamales. They contain lard.
We'll find something lardless for you, man. Just stay away from anything with a tortilla. Well, I guess you're fucked.
Oh, sweet bread.
Okay, so with that, we will pick up next time, and we will do more actual gameplay and less lore dumping.
Sounds good.
So until next time, thank you all for watching. We'll see you next time.
Sweet bread.
Hopefully next week. Bye for now.